Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope you guys are having a great day. Wow, boy, did I mess that up. It's supposed to be 65. I got that way too long. Good, which is actually good because, okay, 10 inches too long. Okay. Hope you guys are having a great day. It is aftermath Monday of a season where coaches are getting fired, teams are jockeying for position, and the Dallas Cowboys, we're about to go old school rematch against the San Francisco 49ers. See, back in the 90s, it was San Francisco-Dallas rivalry that was the king. And right now, we got some interesting stuff that's going on, is the firings. It's kind of crazy. Brian Flores firing is one of those ones that you scratch your head. Clearly, there's some coaches that need to be fired. Now, right now, Joe Judge is meeting with the team, I believe, and I guess there's some speculation that he might be fired. That's a guy that needs to be fired. That team, he had no head coaching experience. He was completely just lost. And to think that he got the job, that the organization needs to be just gutted from the general manager, the coach, and everything else. Just start all over. The fact that there's still a question on whether or not he has a job, and you have Brian Flores. Here's what's crazy about Brian Flores. Brian Flores had a 7-game win streak. I don't care who you're facing in the NFL. Winning 7 games in a row is a hard thing to do. To turn the season around of a season that you kind of screwed yourself with the whole talk of trying to get Deshaun Watson. You undermine your quarterback. And you looked at that from a sinking ship. And typically when a ship starts sinking, you don't get a chance to save it. But he turned it around, and you could say, okay, they're going in the right direction. You look at the Giants, and you got to say they're totally going in the wrong direction. Okay, let me give you a hypothetical, because here you have coaches that are getting fired left and right, and at some point you got to stop for a second. Like I said, Joe Judge needs to be fired. He's completely clueless. Quarterback sneak, when it's 3rd and 8 in your 6-yard line, you're an idiot. Brian Flores, you could say, okay, we were one step away from the playoffs. Okay, he's got at least a 500 record. You look at the Bears with the lack of having an offense forever. It's not something new. To actually have a team that's played decent and you let him go, you might not exactly do better. Like hypothetically, let's say you're the Lions. Let's say you got a coach that one year got you 11-5 in the playoffs. Let's say the next year he goes 7-9. Talking about the Lions now. Let's say the next year 9-7 and gets you in the playoffs again. And let's say the 4th year he goes 9-7. If you're an organization and you look at that track record, would you say fire that guy? One losing season and it was 7-9. Or if you saw that candidate, that guy who did coach the Lions, if the Lions had somebody that coached an organization that never wins, to 2 out of 4 years into the playoffs, to 3 winning seasons, would you say maybe I ought to look at that guy? Maybe that guy is not so bad? Because that was a situation that the Lions had with Jim Caldwell. Jim Caldwell, 11-5 in the playoffs, 7-9, 9-7, 9-7, and got fired. Because the Lions said, you know what? This isn't the right guy. We need to go ahead and get one of those Bill Belichick guys, that hot candidate, that Matt Patricia. Yeah, Because again, we always get all these hot commodity coaches that everybody says, oh, they're going to be the next great coach. But very few of those actually work out. You can look at the Matt Rule. Yeah, he seems lost. The Urban Meyer. And the Matt Patricia, who coached with Bill Belichick. Those were complete disasters. So Jim Caldwell gets canned. Detroit figures Matt Patricia can do better. Matt Patricia proceeds to take the team that Jim Caldwell went 9-7 and goes 5-11 and then 3-13. Yeah. Enter Dan Campbell. Now, Dan Campbell, he's gotten a couple of good wins. He's gotten some wins. Big one yesterday, beating Green Bay to finish off the season. He might end up being a really good coach. But my point being here is sometimes teams have decent coaches, but the coaches aren't the problem. A lot of times the problem is the organization and the people that back them. When you have a GM that can't pick draft picks, that is giving you players, dogs that can't hunt, it's not the coach's fault if you were the one that picked them. But you see this over and over and over again where year after year, the Bears fire a guy, bring in somebody else. And you keep having the same results. At some time, you got to say, the problem is us, not the coaches. Like I said, you know there's some that have to go. Jim Caldwell was not one that should have gone. Urban Meyer, yeah, that guy had to go. Matt Rule, he needs to go. Joe Judge, he needs to go. But Brian Flores? You don't get the benefit of the doubt? You don't get the benefit of the doubt, huh? It's crazy. We'll see what happens with Joe Judge. I know that it sounds like the players are not on board with him. Sounds like the fans are not on board with him. Sounds like nobody is on board with him. So, oh well, not my issue. At least the Cowboys, well, we're headed to the playoffs. We'll see how we do. I'm Mark Holmes, and well, I'm glad we're not talking about firing Mike McCarthy and who's going to be the next coach for the Cowboys, because we are in the playoffs. Hope you guys are having a great day. And I'm going to keep on working, getting ready for my new baby. And I'll see you later.